All right, guys, welcome. I'm Alexis Weigand. I'm your MAPS coach, and I am here with my partner, Emily Baker. A little bit of background on the two of us, if you don't know us by now. I am in San Antonio, and I run a mega agent team. I am also the lead listing specialist, so I am in the thick of all of this alongside you guys on these listing appointments. Emily is a full-time one-on-one MAPS coach, and so she coaches some of Gary's top teams in the top 100 of our company. So together today, we are super excited to bring you all how to dominate the top 5 seller objections that we're getting. To kick us off, why don't everybody put what city and state you guys are located in? I want to see where everybody is today. So if you guys can put that in the chat channel.
You got any leads come through yet?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And we are going to do our best to keep you guys all on mute throughout this session. Awesome. I love it. Anything else you want to see in the chat channel, Emily?
No, I think let's go. We've got people from all over. Oh, Canada. Awesome. All over. All right. So everyone, we're going to start off with a really common seller objection that none of us are hearing, right? The seller wants to overprice the home. How many of you guys are getting that objection? They think that the property value is more than it is. Maybe they've, been looking at comps or their neighbors from 3-6 months ago, and they think that the pricing should be that. All right. So yes, we're hearing that. So let's dive in. So when a seller says this, what we want to start off with is always acknowledging what they're trying to, convey to you, right? So you always want to acknowledge an objection. We never want to accept their objection. So accepting the objection would be agreeing with them or saying, I understand. When you say you understand, you're accepting that what they're saying is a true feeling or fact, which when we're objection handling, that's not the goal, right? So we want to acknowledge, make them feel heard, and yet come about it in a contributing way to get to a common place. So we'll start off with, hey, Alexis, I can appreciate that, you're looking to make the most amount of money. And that too is what I want to have happen as well. Again, my job is not to determine the market, rather to interpret the market such that we get the property sold for what the market deems as top dollar, right? So Alexis, there are 3 things that tend to happen when you overprice a property versus where the market states it should be. May I explain?
Sure.
Awesome. So first, we get high online views and no showings. Now, this does nothing for us because if buyers are looking at the home online, if they're not touring the property in person or virtually, they're not going to purchase the home. Fair?
Fair.
Yeah. Next, is having a high volume of showings and yet receiving no offers. Now, this is extremely frustrated for sellers like yourself, because I can see that you take pride in your home and, you make sure that it's in prime condition. And when that hard work and effort gets, no result or offers, that's definitely not a win-win, is it?
Nope.
Last, and sometimes even more frustrating than those 2 things, are lowball offers. You and I both value your home, and we're clearly looking for you to make the most amount of money and to get top dollar for what the market deems as top dollar. So when we get the looky-loos or people looking for deals, it can result in less than the price that we're talking about that the market is deeming as top dollar today. So we've already gone over my strategic marketing plan that's going to attract the right buyers that are going to, obviously offer top dollar in today's market. So let's not go ahead and play the waiting game of, potential price reductions or, getting, a longer days on market and people wondering in this strong market, what's wrong with the property. Let's go ahead and list it now for what the market deems as top dollar, such that ultimately you guys can get into, your next home before spring, which is really what we want, right?
That's correct.
Awesome.
All right. So guys, we are going to roll through what we consider the top 5 seller objections, and then we're going to leave 15 minutes for Q&A at the end. So I love the fact that you guys are putting questions in the chat box. Keep that up. And then we will roll back to those. But to make sure that we get through this, we are going to roll through all 5. All right. So I'm going to take the next one. And that is agent at ABC Realty offered 4% commission. Guys, insert whatever discounted commission rate you want right there. But that's the objection that we're going to handle. So what I like to do is I don't have it with me, unfortunately, but in my wallet, I like to keep 3 $1 bills. Okay. And I just come from curiosity. I say, this is a really great question. And I'm super excited to answer this for you. Out of curiosity, do you know how commissions work? And they're usually going to be like, I don't know, tell me, or maybe. I say, well, so we really have 6% and 3% goes to the buyer agent. So that leaves us with 3% on the listing side. And my fiduciary is to you as a seller. So the first one, let's break this into $3 bills. The first one is actually going straight to the brokerage. So whether someone runs their own brokerage or like me, I am a broker and yet I still choose to hold my license with Keller Williams, that's an automatically out the door. So really we're only left with $2 bills and I show them the ones out the door, number 2 and number 3. And the second one is marketing. And you and I both know that you're not looking for an agent just to get your house sold. You're trying to figure out which agent is going to net you top dollar in today's market. So let me ask you, do you think that we can just put your house, let's say like an agent with I call it the 3-piece, put a sign in your yard, put your house on MLS, and they're going to sit back and pray that someone brings them offer? That's not us. I already went through our marketing strategy, and that costs time and that costs money. Okay. So the second dollar bill is marketing. And the third one is for running the business and family. Out of curiosity, which one do you think this agent with ABC Realty is going to cut? The 1% that goes to running the business and feeding his family? Or do you think he's going to cut the marketing? And they always say, I didn't think about it like that. That's right. And then you go and you close them and you say, so I am fully committed to executing the marketing strategy that we already went over at a high level. So let's go ahead and do the right thing and get started on paperwork so we can get your house on the market next week. All right. So I like this. If you want to go ahead and bring the dollar bills with you, just keep them in your briefcase, keep them in your wallet, but it's going to be brokerage, it's going to be marketing, and it's going to be family. Those are the 3 words that you put, or you can put profit. I like to put family. Those are the 3 words you put on those dollar bills. And I've yet to use this one and not have someone go, all right, we stay persistent, and then they sign with us. You want to take them through the next one, Emily?
Yes. So the next one is, I can't find what I'm looking for. Inventory's low. So I don't want to sell until the right house comes on the market. So a lot of us are experiencing this. So again, we're going to start by acknowledging the objection. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I can appreciate that you may think that. Yet I'm curious, have you seen properties on the market that would be an option, or maybe they would have been an option, and yet they're already under contract? 9 times out of 10, they say yes, right? Everything we see is sold, or we saw this one and it went under contract. So now we're getting them in the mindset of things are coming on the market. Traditional real estate is still happening, right? So what we're finding is that inventory isn't the actual issue. Having the position to purchase is the issue. And you actually have more options than you think. We've actually found that these 4 options work best for buyers to purchase and sell in the same market. So I'd love to see which one of these options works best for you. Now, in this, guys, break script, we're going to slow down and go through each option individually. Do not list these options and then just look at them. You want to engage in this strategy such that you're working them through their thought process of problem solving and self-discovery. Okay. So number one, the first option, do you have a place to stay for temporary housing? Like, do you have any friends or family that in the event that your property sold and we did not find an option, worst case scenario, is there anyone that you could stay with temporarily? Let's say they say, well, yeah, I can stay with my daughter and son-in-law. That would not be ideal, but if I had to, I could. I just really don't want to do that. I'm going to write that down right in front of them. Daughter and son-in-law. Awesome. I know that that's not ideal. This is, again, worst case scenario. So don't want to bother the kiddos. And yet in the worst case scenario, that would be an option. Yes. Great. Option number two, would you be open to us helping you find a temporary housing like an Airbnb or short-term rental in the event we couldn't find something? Let's say they say no. No, I don't want to do that. Rental rates are so high right now. The thought of moving twice, I just don't want to do that. Got it. So temporary housing as an Airbnb rental, not an option. Daughter, son-in-law would be. Yes. Great. I'm curious, have you spoken with your lender around financing to ensure that you absolutely have to sell before you buy, or have you looked into bridge loans? It's a short-term loan. It's a little bit more expensive. You're basically paying on a short-term loan, but it does allow you to purchase first. Have you got really clear with your lender on financing? No, I haven't done that. I really, we really don't want to do that. We want to take the equity out of this house and pay cash. We don't want to finance. Okay, got it. So creative financing is absolutely not an option. Nope. Okay. Last, this is my favorite option, and it's worked for a lot of our sellers. We can negotiate a lease back for you. Have you heard of that? No. Yeah, you can actually stay in your house and rent it back from the new owners for a specific period of time based on whatever you write in the contract. So because inventory for buyers is very competitive, I don't use low because remember, we just told them it's not an inventory problem, it's a purchase power problem. So because the inventory is very competitive for buyers, buyers are willing to negotiate specific terms such that they get into the right property. So if we find the right person, they may, let you stay and rent back for a specified amount of time and price. What are your thoughts on that? Oh gosh, I didn't know that we could do that. Yeah, that would definitely work. Is that very common? If someone loves the house and they want this house, how do you think that they would they negotiate, especially in this competitive market? Probably pretty strong. That's exactly right. So it sounds like option 1 and option 4 would work if we absolutely couldn't find a home, which again, traditional real estate still happens. Okay. When you hire me, I'm going to get to work for you. I'm not afraid to call strangers. I'm not afraid to send out letters. I'm not afraid to go knock on doors. My one job when you hire me to find you a home is to do just that, to find you a home. So I'm all in when we decide to work together. And worst case scenario, you can stay with the kiddos for a little bit, or, we have the lease back option. So luckily for you, I specialize in negotiations, and I do this 3 to 5 times, sometimes more per day. So leaving you homeless is absolutely never going to be an option. Sold a lot of homes, never left anyone homeless before. You're definitely not going to be my first. So looking at the calendar, would you prefer to hit the market this Thursday or next Thursday? So this is a really big one. I know that in some of your markets, I hear all the time, leasebacks are not as popular. They're only as popular as agents make them. So if we're not having the conversations, we're going to continue to get the same results or answers from your clients. So slow down, ask them those questions, walk them through. And what we're doing is we're framing them in the possibility state, because traditional real estate does still happen. People are buying and selling in today's market consistently. So, okay, I'm going to go with the next one, Alexis. So I want to work with an agent with more experience for our specific property. Again, guys, sellers are so competitive right now, right? They are interviewing all the time. So this agent specializes in selling homes in the neighborhood, or this agent's been, an agent for 30 years, or whatever they're going to say, right? Experience. So I'm going to start with saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I can appreciate that. And yet what I found, not only in our industry, just in general, experience doesn't always equal excellence. And excellence is actually what you're looking for. Is that fair? See, you deserve an agent who's advanced not only with marketing, and yet has the technology in today's world where the buyers are actually looking online. Honestly, some of the agents who've been in the business for years or have tried and true ways of doing real estate are struggling keeping up, as technology has tremendously evolved and impacted our market the last 5 to 10 years. Although I may not have 20, 30 years of experience, I do offer cutting edge technology with a strategic marketing plan that we've gone over. If I run into a challenge, I'm also a part of the #1 real estate brokerage in the world. I've made connections with a ton of the best agents in the business to help ensure that your experience is nothing short of excellence. So let me choose to work hard, and let's choose to work together today so I can get your house sold immediately.
Love it. All right. So then I'm going to take the next one since you got 2 in a row. Okay. All right, I'm going to wait until spring. Oh my gosh, I think if I'm getting anything, this is what I'm getting the most. All right, so the very first thing we do is we come from curiosity, and we're going to ask them, all right, so let me ask you this. What's more important to you? Is it time, or is it money, or is it convenience? Guys, if you get anything from the script, I want to say this again. What's most important to you when it comes to the sale of your property? Is it making the most amount of money, or the convenience of the sale? 99% of the time, these people, anyone you're talking to is going to go, well, both are important, but if I had to choose one, it was money. Say, great. So knowing that most amount of money is important to you, may I share with you what scares me about you waiting until next year? We're going to go, sure. So the real estate market typically cycles through highs and lows every 7 to 10 years based on historic trends. We're at about year 13 of the market going upwards. At any time, we're due for a correction in the market pricing. Just in the last 7 days, we've seen, and this is where you're going to insert the number of price reductions that you've seen in their specific area. You can get that on your Keller Williams app. So I would say they're just in your area. There have been 13 price reductions in the last week. We've currently sold, this is how many pendings, right? So we've currently sold 36 pendings, or 36 houses in the last 30 days in this market for top dollar. What would happen if the market cracks and you lose out on tens of thousands of dollars? Are you willing to stay another 7 to 10 years for the market to go back up? We haven't even had a true spring market rush in the last 18 months, as we've consistently been in a strong market. So let's get on the market now and not risk getting less than what you've gained in equity now. Sound good? All right, there you go, guys. There's the top 5 seller objections. And if you want these in writing, we have all of these scripts. Emily, what would they want to sign up for to get all of these scripts in writing?
Yeah, so Alexis and I co-coach the Mega Listing Agent MAPS Group program. And we are launching January 5th, you guys. So it's every Wednesday for 9 weeks, 1:30 to 2:30 Central Standard Time. $500. It's 2 installments of $250. So $250 per month times 2. And you can sign up on the megalistingagent.com or go to mapscoaching.com. We go through this is a piece of everything we go from. We go through sellers from A to Z. So we start off with identifying where to go for listings, how to get listings, the best listing lead generation strategies, both prospecting and marketing. We give you every single playbook. So you will get all of the scripts, all of the systems, all of the tools that we recommend to launch any of those. Then we go into the consultation, how to close, objection handlers, how to communicate with sellers, how to build a mega referral business from other sellers. We always say your goal when you sell a listing is to replace that sign. And really it should be to get 2 listings for every listing that you take. So we'll give you all of the listing playbook from A to Z, anything listing. So whether you've been an agent for ever or you're brand new, we have a ton of systems that can help you either refine or define and implement to be really seller focused, especially because this market is competitive and this market is changing and our industry is changing. And it's really, really important that we're staying tried and true to, what Gary says of leading with listings, the buyers come, and truly building a $1 million business.
All right, here's the fun part for questions. If you guys want us to role play, Emily and I together, another seller objection, I want you to put it in the chat channel. And I'm just going to do a quick plug here because we are hosting Mega Listing Agent, as she said, and we launched on January 5th. And we also, Emily, should I say anything about Roleplay Rumble or should I just wait until they sign up for Mega Listing Agent?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. If you guys don't have consistent roleplay partners, Emily and I both host a Roleplay Rumble. So she leads it for lead generation. So she has a lot of ISAs in her course. And then I lead the listings one. So every Monday I get on and we go over a script. We take one of these scripts, for example, we give you the script, I coach on it. And then on Wednesdays, we break everyone into Zoom rooms and we practice our scripts. So it's an amazing community if you do not have consistent roleplay partners yet. And the way you would sign up for that would be to go to roleplayrumble.com. All right.
Let's type in the chat. What other objection would you like us to role play? So what are you hearing out there? What is a common objection that we didn't cover? So again, we covered the top 5, which are the seller wants to overprice the home. Agent at ABC Realty offered to cut their commission. I can't find what I'm looking for. I want an agent with more experience for our property, or I'm going to wait until spring.
Oh, I want to take Lawrence. I'm going to take yours. You said you have a friend or a relative or previously used an agent and you want to work with them. I'm gonna put a slight twist on it, right? Because we all know we can say, all right, is this a business decision or a personal decision? And we can go back into what our marketing plan is to create doubt on what this other person may not do. And yet, let's say that they have someone and they want to use you. They verbalize that they want to use you, but they feel obligated. Because maybe this other agent that's a cousin has already put time and money into the property. I'll say, you know what? So let me get this straight and I'm going to validate. So what I hear you saying is if it weren't for the obligation to this other person, you would choose to hire me today. Is that correct? And they go, well, yeah, but say, here's the deal. I'm going to make this a win-win. How much time, if you were going to just compensate them on an hourly, what do you think would be a fair compensation for them on the time and money they've put into the listing so far? And then what it's going to do is have them think about, okay, well, maybe they've spent 5 hours of work, right? And typically they're frustrated. So some of them will say, well, nothing. They haven't done anything except put a sign in the yard. Say, okay, and that took time. So let's say that they end up at 5 hours. I'll say, so do you think it would be fair to compensate them $100 an hour? Whoa. And I'll say, well, here's the deal. I want to make you look good in their eyes, and I want to make this a win-win. So let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and credit you $500 on the closing of the sale. And then you can give that to your agent. You can give it to them now, or you can give it to them at the closing of the sale, but it's going to come out of my pocket such that you can come from gratitude and give this money and compensate them for their time. And you get to choose to move forward and work with us. How does that sound? Now, if you guys want, you can always offer like the 20%, 25%. I've just found that getting them to think in an hourly and how much time and effort they've spent, I can usually get someone really excited about me paying $500 versus 25% of my gross commission. So we've used that several times. What's another one, Emily, that you want to take them through?
Yeah, so I saw quite a few around interviewing additional agents. So I want to give you guys in your pre-qualification a quick script, and then we'll talk about when you're in person, the script and how they coincide. On your pre-qualification, when you have someone on the phone, I like to ask someone, so Alexis, are you the kind of person that when something feels right, you just know, and you just move forward and make the decision? Or would you say that you're more along the lines of somebody who wants to have all of, the facts, you want to have all the options lined out to review and then make a decision? Which one would you say you relate to more?
Yeah, I'm really going to make the decision based on whether it's a gut feeling. I'm either going to like you or I'm not.
Yeah,
so
I respect that. Awesome. I respect that. Now I know that ahead of the appointment. And guess what I'm going to do, you guys? Somebody tells me that we're going first. Okay. We are going to go first. Okay. I'm going to get it as quick as I can with the gut person. If they say they like to review all the facts, I'm going to go last. Okay. So, and I'm going to verify by saying, so Alexis, let's say she said that she's likes to review the facts. So Alexis, if somebody offered to cut the commission to get you to sign or anything like that, would you still review the facts with everyone and honor the interviews, or would you make a decision then?
We want to talk to at least 4 agents. This is a really important decision for us, and we want to make sure we do our homework. So I'm really not interested in just signing with the first person I meet with. I want to make sure that we interview 4 people.
Awesome. And then I'm going to ask when the third interview is. Okay. And I'm going to, and she just told me that she's not, even if someone cut her commission, she is not going to move forward with that. Okay. So I still want to be number 4. Okay, great. So now you know that. Now you're sitting there. So you're either first or last, right? And you know their decision making style. Okay. And I'm going to say, so let's say that she says, I'm interviewing multiple agents, or I need to think about, what I've heard from the agents, whatever, right? They're going to say one of those things. And we're going to start, just like Alexis said, we're going to come from curiosity, and we're going to say, just out of curiosity, what have I not said that someone else has mentioned, or that you believe will make you more money at the end of the day than what we've gone over today? The key is make more money, because people have all different strategies, but can we agree that strategies don't always equate to money? Okay. All right. So then that's going to cause them to think, just because somebody else said they would do something doesn't mean that it's going to yield the result of finding the buyer that's going to pay top dollar. So they're going to think, so based on what we've gone over thus far with our strategic marketing plan to find you the buyer who's willing to pay top dollar for the property, our communication strategy to make this as simple and stress-free as possible, as well as our reputation of just getting results and getting the job done, what's stopping us really from moving forward today? You either handle the objection. Well, so-and-so said they would cut their commission. We just went through that objection handler, right? And then we're going to say, great, well, hey, in this market, as we've discussed, time really is money. So let's not delay any more time, and let's get your property on the market. Would you prefer to hit the market on this Thursday, or would you prefer Thursday the 14th?
There's so much about this that I love that I want to point out if we had more time. Here's what I want you guys to remember. In the absence of value, it becomes a commission conversation. Think about that for a second. In the absence of value, it becomes a conversation in the real estate industry about commissions. So in the Mega Listing Agent, we teach you guys, because some of these objections I see you guys are putting in the chat box, I would dial back to what is your value proposition? How are you pitching that? How are you choosing and articulating to set yourself apart from your competition such that we're eliminating you even getting the objection around commission, because we've done such an incredible job with pitching our value proposition. But that's what, and then Emily, you had said, oh gosh, I was going to write it down, the sentence that I wanted to point out to him. Is there anything else that you wanted to handle here that you saw in the chat channel, Emily?
No, I think a lot of your guys' questions, these are all really great questions. I will tell you that we go through our strategic consultation from start to finish. We go through prequal, so we teach you how to find the business on the business that you want, right? Targeting a price point, going after getting the listings, scripts, objection handlers that work, that will actually yield you the result. That's the key, right? There are a lot of scripts out there. What are the ones that are actually going to get you in front of sellers? Those are the ones that you want. And those are the ones that we go through. After that, then we teach you pre-list and pre-qual, pre-list. Then we go through how to prep for a consult, what to do at a consult, what to say at a consult. We give you temp checks on how to, gauge the client's personality, how to engage them in the conversation, how to walk them through. Someone asked, what if they say convenience is more important? Guys, we still want to, I'm not selling anyone anything. I'm going to come from contribution. If convenience is really more important, like if they're elderly and it's snowing and that's really what's the most important thing is not to do that, then I'm going to ask them by when. So realistically, by when do we need to move? What happens if you don't move by then? And I'm going to get really clear with them on what's really important about the convenience. And then I'm going to follow up and I'm going to follow through. We teach you what are the best follow-up strategies? What are the best follow-up techniques? How do you not lose sellers in the follow-up? Right? Because a lot of times people are like, oh, I want to do this to the house before I get it on the market and stuff. Then we're like, oh, shoot, I forgot to call that seller, right? It's not ever been any of us. And so then we go through on negotiating, pricing strategies, negotiations, all the way through. So we are so excited to, join you guys in January on the 5th and talk about our favorite thing, which is sellers and scripts.
Yep. That's kind of our obsession.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We trust that this was valuable. We hope that you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy holidays, everyone. We appreciate you all for jumping on today.
Thanks, guys.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you very
Merry
much
Christmas.
for your time.
Thank you
Have a
so
good day.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks.